Alright everybody, today I'm not even going to try to tell you this is a great motion picture. Actually, it's kind of shit. But, is it a guilty pleasure? You bet your ass. Okay, today we are taking a look back at 1980's Death Ship. But before we go any further, as always, once and again, to the trailer.
Death Ship. It came out of the night. Searching.
Signal him to hold the course. We have, sir. Well, signal him again, damn it.
Striking. Bringing terror in its wake. Killing all but a few. Saving them for the hell. Aboard the Death Ship.
This old ship seems to have a life of its own.
Not so bad. We're out of the water. It's a nice day, huh? We can clear this mess up, play a little shuffleboard, get a tan.
Death Ship. Where evil lives in an endless nightmare. And where those who survive are better off dead. Death Ship. Your holiday in hell.
Okay, this motion picture was directed by Alvin Rakoff. Now, did he really direct a bunch of shit that you're going to remember or no? Probably not. But he did this. He did stuff like Say Hello to Yesterday, and Shades of Green, and City on Fire, Voyage Around My Father, and a whole bunch of TV work. So if he doesn't really jump at you as somebody you remember, you'll probably get to learn why when you watch this motion picture. Okay, playing Trevor Marshall is Richard Crenna. Come on, man, we all know Richard Crenna. We will always know and love him as Troutman from Rambo 1, Rambo 2, Rambo 3. Iconic. We will always remember that. But he's been in a whole bunch of other shit. He's been in stuff like Leviathan and Jade and the Flamingo Kid and Table of Five, Body Heat. The Sand Pebbles, The Devil's Backbone, and one of my all-time little gem favorites, Devil Dog, Hound from Hell. I love that motion picture. It's complete shit, but I love it anyway, and we'll talk about it at some point. Okay, playing Captain Ashland. George Kennedy. George Kennedy's been around in a million things. As soon as you see his face, you know who he is. Come on, I mean, he was in all those Naked Gun flicks, for Christ's sake. Those are legendary. But again, been in a million other things. He was in stuff like Cool Hand Luke and Airport and The Terror Within and Demon Warp, Delta Force and Savage Dawn and Earthquake and The Eiger Sanction, Cahill U.S. Marshal, and a bunch of those like airport flicks and shit. You know what I mean? Every time you turned around, he was in like Airport 79, the Concorde, and Airport, whatever fucking plane was falling out of the sky in the 70s. He was in that motion picture. I think he was in Earthquake too. Did I mention that? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's keep going. Okay, playing Nick was Nick Mancuso. Now, it always makes me wonder when I see a guy who gets conned into playing a role by his own name. I'm just sitting there saying to myself, does he remember his fucking lines? Is there a problem? Is that why this Nick is being called Nick? Yeah, whatever. You see a lot of this shit in Hollywood. But Nick Mancuso's kind of a cool career. He's been in some bunch of shit I liked. He was obviously in Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. He was in Under Siege. He was in Regression. He was in one of my favorite all-time little schlock flicks that I'm going to cover at some point, Nightwing. And he was in a cool TV show way back in the 80s called Stingray, which I actually have a file on ready to go at one point or another just to cover it. But it was a cool little forgotten gem, ran for a very short amount of time, and he was a star of it. Is what it is. Okay, playing Margaret was Sally Ann Howes. Now, her name ain't gonna jump out at you. Let's not fuck around with each other and kid. But she was in some legendary shit. We are talking Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. God damn it. But she was also in stuff like Brigadoon and Paradise Lagoon and a Thursday's Child, Dead of Night. Tons and tons of TV works. And she was even in the Life and Times or Adventures or whatever of Nicholas Nickleby. So she's been around for a long time. She had been around for a long time before this motion picture. And just for being in this and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, fuck it, man. I mean, come on, let's be real. That's awesome. Okay, playing Sylvia was Kate Reid. Now, Kate Reid, she's been around, man. She's been in some stuff you're probably going to remember and stuff you're probably going to like. She was in The Andromeda Strain, in Atlantic City, and Death of a Salesman, and The Blood of Others, the Rainbow Boys, pardon me, and This Property is Condemned. So she pops up. She has a face you recognize. She was in some really cool shit. You got to see The Andromeda Strain too. If you haven't seen it, you got to fucking watch it. You know what I mean? It was a really good flick. But anyway, she's in this. That's all we give a shit about. Let's keep going. Okay, playing Laurie was Victoria Burgoyne. Now, she was, not kid ourselves, never really had that much of a career. But she was in a couple things you might kind of sort of remember. I don't know if you like that kind of movie, which I'm the kind of guy that does like those kind of movies. She was in stuff like Naughty Wives and Ghost Can't Do It and Stealing Heaven. And she was on TV and stuff like Doctor's Daughters and Doctor Who and shit like that. So she was out there. She was doing her thing. Really short career. Really wasn't in that much. Who really gives a shit? But she's in this. She's crazy naked. Crazy. Okay, I got sidetracked. Let's just get going to the story. Okay, the story, I'm going to keep to 90 seconds or less. And this movie is so goddamn simplistic, I can actually do it effectively this time. You have George Kennedy. He's the captain of this ship on his last voyage out. And he's showing his replacement around. That happens to be Richard Crenna. And all of a sudden, this ship comes out of nowhere and just rams him. Bam! Sinks the whole thing. Well, they're on a life raft. The next thing you know, they're all still alive. Okay, maybe like 7 people. But they're alive. And all of a sudden, this big black ship comes up out of nowhere. They don't realize it's the ship that fucking sank the goddamn ship that they were just on. Why would they know? Anyway, they get on board. Within seconds of getting on board, people start fucking dying. Well, shit goes amiss, stuff goes crazy, everybody knows something's wrong. Turns out that this giant ship used to be a Nazi torture ship. Ooh, spooky. And then the captain, Kennedy, starts getting possessed and taken over by the dead captain of the fucking Nazi ship. And before you know it, he's one of them, and all hell's breaking loose, and they're just trying to escape. And can they ever get away from the death ship? Oh man, wasn't that easy? Wasn't that a fast one? I could probably tell you the end, and you wouldn't even give a shit about that either. It doesn't really make a difference. Let's get to the point where I talk about this little fucking gem. Okay, everybody, let's get down to brass taxes. Let's get down to why this motion picture works. Well, it doesn't really work, to be honest. But why it might work for you and why it works for me. I'm going to get into a couple of things that were problematic. This might take a moment before we get into the things that are utterly fucking cool. First off, this motion picture, it kind of feels like a TV movie. It is what it is, folks. There's times you're going to be saying to yourself, if it wasn't for some of the blood and some of the titties, I would swear I was watching something made for an ABC midnight movie or some shit like that. It just comes across that way. The score is so oppressive and heavy-handed. I mean, you are giving away serious moments of this motion picture because you know what's going to happen because the fucking score kicks in and it's just like it's just way over the top and goofy. And what more can you say? The characters are basically cliches. They're the stereotypical kind of shit that you see in a motion picture. None of the characters are very deep. They just are what they are. They're there to give you some scares and to be put into the plot points where they need to be. And it is what it is. The shaky cam that they use, that I guess is supposed to make you feel like you're at sea, but is really just fucking annoying. Like they had somebody who just couldn't stop shaking while he was holding the camera. It is what it is, but it winds up driving you fucking nuts. There's slow motion parts in this motion picture that they throw in for dramatic effect that I swear to God you're just going to laugh at. You're just going to sit there and say, what the fuck? They just turned a death scene into this comedic fucking romp. I just can't stop laughing at this. Watch Nick Mancuso's death scene to know exactly what I'm talking about. But beyond all of that, this motion picture works simply because the plot is so cool and so fucking ridiculous. It's just a big, jet black ship floating around the ocean, hitting other ships, sinking them, so that the souls of these people can be tortured once they come aboard, and they can be dragged through the fucking painful, torturous fires of hell, and this ship can feed off of it, and it can move on to the next group of assholes and sink their fucking ship too. And oh yeah, you throw in a bunch of Nazis and crazy German talk and a fucking picture of Hitler. You got the whole thing going on right there. This motion picture is not great. This motion picture is maybe not even good, but this motion picture is what it is. It's entertaining. It's got a crazy little fucking premise to it. They deliver it to you as solidly as they fucking can. The actors all try their best, even though you get the feeling that they were all told, hey man, you only got 3 takes at this, and just give more, be more ridiculous, more, that kind of a thing. And let's be honest, any motion picture that literally 2 seconds after they run into the protagonist, the baddie of the movie, like in this, crazy shit starts happening. People start dying the minute they come on board. I mean, the fucking movie doesn't even get rolling. It just jumps right off of the get-go. It's like, hey man, you people are 2 feet on the boat. I think I'll kill one of you. That kind of shit happens right from the get-go. It doesn't meander. It doesn't bullshit around. It's just like haunted ship, meant to hurt people, meant to torture people. Here it is. Don't look for logic. Fuck it. Go. All right, everybody. Get out there and watch Ghost Ship. You can actually see it. It's on YouTube floating around. God knows I can't imagine anybody put this fucking thing on DVD. But give it a shot. Give it a chance. Late night movie. As you're falling asleep and you got nothing else to do, pop in Ghost Ship. Give it a shot. I'm telling you, it's not the worst fucking thing you ever seen. You're probably going to like it. You're probably going to keep it as a little hidden gem in your mind. And you're going to sit there and reflect upon it later and say, for what it was, that piece of shit was okay. All right, folks. Be good. Take care of one another. Look out for each other. Be safe out there.